Hey, what is up, guys? It is me, DF Shadow 123, and I am here with Vash of Reach.
Hello.
Yeah, he was a leader in this community, leader of Ravenholdt, or leader of the colony of Ravenholdt back in the CF days. This is gonna be a interview and a story of Vash of Reach. Tell me, Vash, what was the first clan that you were ever a part of?
First clan that I ever joined in the Halo clan community was the United Nations back in 2011. I joined the Halo clan community on January 11th, 2011.
Sweet. So your leader, can you tell me about him? Maybe did he like inspire you to want to lead?
Well, the leader of the United Nations at the time was Shadow Sniper 172. This would have been second gen United Nations. So I joined as a recruit and went through the Army and went to the Air Force. But I'm sorry. Did you say what was the question exactly? Kind of hard to hear.
I asked, like, did he inspire you to lead at all?
Oh, well, Shadow Sniper was the first clan leader I ever met, so the only basis for leading, and at the time that's probably the end of the golden age of community, as you refer to it, when the UN influenced clans around it and had media power and such. But yeah, I would definitely say that Shadow Sniper being the first clan leader that I ever came in contact with, as well as a very active part of my UN experience, was a good inspiration to lead other clans.
Very nice, very nice. Before your first clan, you have bought a Halo game. So, what was the first Halo game that made you click? What made you first play Halo?
I've been playing Halo since CE in 2001. I grew up with the original Xbox, and my brothers had the Xbox. We would play split screen and LAN, go to LAN parties and stuff, but I wouldn't say that I was in the military, military clan community on Halo 3 or Halo 2. Um, I didn't join Xbox Live until Halo Reach. So, um, but I've been playing Halo since it came out.
Sweet, sweet. Um, when you lead, what makes it work for you? What keeps you in the game? Or yeah.
Well, the mentality that I've always had leading clans is when I get people together and they want to make a clan with me or whatever. Um, it's usually a group of friends that have come together, and we decide the theme that we want to talk about, we want to act out and stuff like that as far as the military theme goes, and then we actually we build the theme up from the start of the clan and then onward from there. And everyone, it's always been a team aspect as far as leading goes. I don't really, I've always had like councils and special assistants and stuff like that. But just making a clan experience as fun as I can make it. If I was going through my own clan experience, I would want myself to be entertained or uniquely innovative design and stuff like that. But as far as leading clans, I'm creating an experience for people, and then I'm servicing out to people that join it, and making that the best experience possible is just how I make clans. It's not really anything specific about leadership traits or anything that I would have to say, because leading clans on Halo doesn't really require much other than common sense and military aptitude and stuff.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So when you started up your clan after, when you started up your clan, your colony in, the CF, which later became your clan, why did you name it Ravenholdt?
Before I joined the Halo clan community, I used to play a ton of World of Warcraft, and as a player of World of Warcraft, I used to play Rogue. And all the rogues, doesn't matter what faction you're part of, Alliance or Horde, all the rogues had a place they could meet and, go on missions together and stuff like that. And that place was called Ravenholdt Manor. I just dropped Manor and called my clan Ravenholdt. And actually a lot of Ravenholdt names and objects in the lore had a lot to do with World of Warcraft as far as lore is concerned. So just one of the things I based the clan on.
Yeah, it's a nice story. What made you make a colony? What made you do that experience?
Well, contrary to popular belief, Ravenholdt existed before the CF. The Ravenholdt started in October 2016, I think October 20th, and me and Preventor we had met the Commonwealth earlier that year, also in Shadows in 2016, and we decided that we wanted to make a plan together sometime in the future. In October, we met up and we made Ravenholdt. Of course, the colony Sigma was also a clan before the CF called the NDI. And I had known Pwn Legend for years before that. Ravenholdt, NDI interacted on a semi-regular basis, but so Ravenholdt was a clan before the CF started or even began, and the CF, the reason the CF, when Shadow Sniper came back, he came back in November, late November of 2016, and he contacted me and Mentor and a lot of TCW officers and said he wanted to make a clan with us and that he was sorry for the way the TCW turned out, took full responsibility and stuff like that. And after getting after being in a clan with Shadow and having a TCW experience that created a lot of PTSD, a lot of people were skeptical about, whether the success thing. But Ravenholdt decided that it would give it a shot. Originally, the CF was nothing like what it became. The original idea was just a generic, it was just a TCW 2.0. It's a generic military clan, and Ravenholdt was going to come in as the Special Forces, and NDI was going to come in as the Navy. We were going to have different branches, but Ravenholdt and Sigma, I called NDI Sigma so long. Stuff. Ravenholdt and the NDI had already been doing this isolationist community idea. For instance, the NDI had a different, but I don't know what it was. The NDI and Ravenholdt were realms of this, planet or whatever, and it was basically the CF just in a community format, kind of like what the initiative was supposed to be. So when the Shadow Sniper asked us if he wanted to make a clan with us, we said, yes or whatever. We proposed this idea to him of, sovereign states and having government over sovereign states, kind of like what the CF did with the government colonies. So then he, it morphed over time into a space colonization theme. But, Ravenholdt and NDI were already doing that beforehand. We had already written the Constitution about it. And if you wanted to join that community, you had to sign it, follow the Constitution, rules that were laid out. Actually have that somewhere. The template system was also like a different alternative grade for that community. We brought that with us from the CF. But I didn't create Ravenholdt as a colony for the CF. Ravenholdt existed beforehand.
So, if NDI and Ravenholdt were two different clans. Beforehand, they joined the CF, making their own colonies, being their own colonies. The first two be that. Then once the CF died, Shadow Sniper left, and then all the colonies just left and made their own clans. Is that correct? Most of them, at least.
Most of them, yeah. I think Hades actually tried to recreate the CF. They called it the
Remnant. The Remnant, the CF Remnant.
Colonial Confederation or something.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Angel of Death and Zog were involved in some stuff. Yeah, more or less, the colonies became their own clans, split and went to war with each other, ran away from Inner-Eye.
That's what's your thoughts on Inner-Eye? What happened to Inner-Eye? Like what made you like did you dislike the Inner-Eye after the war, or what?
You know, I don't think that I treat clans the way that everybody else does. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but when I started clan, or when I joined it, doesn't matter what it is, I don't carry myself in that clan. I create persona to act out in that clan, and then I make decisions based on what that persona might do. So during the CF war, all of that, I was acting out what I thought, Vash of Reach, Prince of Ravenholdt, Colony Governor would do in those situations, especially to defend the clan. So I RP a lot more than I think of. So when it comes to like what I think of the Inner-Eye or what I thought towards them, I have no hard feelings against them. I didn't really have no hard feelings against them during the war. But Vash of Reach, the governor, had very distaste for him. But I think, the Inner-Eye is a well-structured plan. It's some cool RP aspects that other plans don't. Or to I'd like to say the same about Orta, but I'm now convinced that a lot of what it just says about themselves just isn't true. It's all facade. So I'm not sure if I could say that about Orta. But I harbor no, I don't think Bizarre or Ricky. I really think about it, actually.
My well, like Inner-Eye and stuff. I mean, there's Inner-Eye. I think Inner-Eye was just taking Ricky Lane along with, because when I was asking Inner-Eye about stuff for this interview, he told me that Ricky Lane had nothing to do with it. Like Clan Orta was just there to help. That's it. Inner-Eye just took CF by storm.
Yeah, Ricky Lane was there at the ROE meeting, so I'm not sure how we can say that. Our Ravenholdt even had planned, encounters with Mortarians on a raid basis and stuff. So I wouldn't say that Ricky Lane wasn't involved, nor was Orta very. But I would say that the Inner-Eye got the most publicity for it, because more people like the Inner-Eye than like it.
Yeah. So, let's see here. When you started up Ravenholdt, how many loyal members did you have, and how many of them remained at its end?
Ravenholdt started with 12 people, pretty sure myself, Uh, well, no. The first class I had 7 people, and I basically ran Ravenholdt like a clan that ran like a Rangers branch. You didn't have any members at the start of your branch. You had to start initiation classes. So Ravenholdt selection took about, well, it was different for each class, but generally it took at least 2 months to do. Most of that just had to do with being patient, waiting, doing duties and stuff like that. So a lot of people left Ravenholdt. A lot of people failed selection, but my first class, who they eventually became knights. They were knighted and stuff. They stayed to the end. I'd say I'd had a good about 8 or 9 people that were loyal to Ravenholdt at the end. But the most I ever had in Ravenholdt was like 16 at a time.
Shoot. Well, have you have you ever had a very loyal member turn into a spy? Like, in front of your eyes?
I have, but it wasn't in Ravenholdt. It was years ago.
Oh.
I had a lot of betrayals. Really. I started, plans and started intelligence agencies. They did what they were supposed to do for months on end, and then suddenly they had a better opportunity somewhere else. Took advantage of it. No, blame them. But yeah, I've had people betray me, loyal for a significant amount of time, especially in agency relationships.
Yeah. I mean, the best of us had that happen. But the best of us had just the tables turned by a spy before, and it just happens.
Right.
Do you think the CF experience helped you, or was it just a waste of time?
I believe that CF as a clan was the most unique and original clan that ever created with somebody. And I kind of wish it still existed, because I don't think there's another clan out there like it, at least that had the passion for it as much as the founding colonies, a few colonies later. I don't think it was a waste of my time. A lot of people would say that my clan career is a waste. I'd say that the CF was definitely worth being a part of. I loved every second. Politics were just great. Perhaps it didn't help my public image or whatever, but it's not something I'm concerned with.
Yeah. NRI, they tried to, when they shut down the CF, you saw how they tried to gather up all the members and assassinate them one by one. That never happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so while they were trying to do that, people said, like, no, I'm not gonna do that, you can't make me and shit, and they're like, oh, okay, you're just gonna ruin your clan career because nobody's gonna recruit you if you're not, loyal and shit like that. And most of that, when we were in the CF, we learned that really didn't faze us. Like, a lot of the people that were gonna get assassinated just laughed at it and went with their day.
Yeah, right.
When something as good as the CF, as original the CF dies, we just don't care anymore. What was there, just gone. And, like, all we have right now is, like, people in the clan community right now is trying to replicate what the CF did and stuff like that, but what they don't know is that they had Ravenholdt and NDI as their first members, and they are already an active clan right from the womb,
Right.
And that's why I think it thrived. They started with the good and active members, and they ended with good and active members.
Yeah, I think around the time the CF started recruiting officially, like on 12/21, I think the CF had, because it was Ravenholdt and NDI, but it was also like the government administration that joined. Shadow is assembled staff. And I think there were other people that were just trying to, they were there, but they wanted to create their colonies, so they were trying to as well. I think when we started, I think we might have had 40. Most of those people were Indiana. Again, maybe 9 or 10 people. Um, Definitely the lowest colony started. And that's actually why Class B was, B class was created. Because we had so, we just weren't going to have at least 15, 16 people.
Yeah, that's it's a shame that CF ended the way it did. And if I can take back anything that I did wrong in the CF, and I know I did a lot of shit wrong, I would. And I mean, the only reason why I did what I did was for Ricky Lane, because we go way back. He's a cool guy. I didn't.
He's a pretty cool guy.
I was never really fond of Visari, but you know we talk still. I mean, it's not very a friend. It's not we were never on a friend basis, but I mean, I knew him. Ricky Lane was like a mentor to me. I wanted to be him. That's why I started up clans and shit. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. So Ricky Lane is a pretty chill guy. Me and him talked outside of clans. Even during the CF, we talked on some occasion about, just how far we took RP and stuff with our respective clans. Talked about communities. I actually had a meeting with them during the CF. This was way before the war. This was like maybe February, maybe even the end of January. I actually met with Gabe the Abaddon, Ricky Lane, Bizarre, and there was another dude, I can't remember. But I actually met with them, and we talked about, how the CF is trying to reinvigorate the RP aspect of the community. They liked what we were doing. They wanted us to join the foundation, which me and Pone advocated for, and everybody else was against. That was one of the problems. I think CF was like the original founding members were super golden age conservative as far as military professionalism, but all the new colonies, a lot of the new colonies, like everybody that Bell brought in, Eridani, Armis, they were more or less sort of content with mainstream generic Navcom Infinity and Exodus style.
They're the emos. They disagreed with everything.
Right. So
mainstream's bad.
The conservative power was like, we're not going to change anything, and that's because we don't want you guys to fuck up our creation. But a lot of things just didn't get done, and a lot of cooperation, a lot of events never took place because nobody was willing to do them, except Sigma, whatever. We had a huge amount of political party systems to implement. It's gonna be good, but
yeah,
I think the number one mistake that I made during was there's a lot of history that I'm just not gonna be able to cover, but at the end of the CF in April, when Collins started meeting with Al Chancellor and started throwing around the idea of suspension, stuff like that. One of the greatest mistakes that I ever made was because of several factors before this, but Shadow Sniper didn't trust me because of an event he found out about longer concerning to me. And therefore, once he started distrusting the original members, he started leaving us out as war plans and started hosting, our ROE meetings without any governors and stuff like that. But after talking to him, months afterwards, I found out that my probably worst mistake I made was that I was too anxious to make a decision about what we should have done. What we should have done is we should have been patient. We should have overshadowed that deal. Had probably would have been okay. But at the time, I didn't have that information. I was going off what I had at the time. But
Yeah, I really, and yeah, I get it. I really do. Um, yeah. So, really, the CF was not a waste of anybody's time. It was like an experience. But you see, the best clans always fall, and this is why. Like, have you noticed that all the questionable clans are up and running since Reach? Navcom, NRI, questionable clans that most people really don't really have a good opinion of. Those are the clans that thrive in this community.
I feel like the reason I can't speak for Exodus because I was never a part of it, and I really don't understand how that clan survived throughout
All the hate. It's the hate that got them so far. The credibility of being hated.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. But as far as Navcom goes, as far as Infinity goes, I was in Navcom in 2015, and before I joined Navcom, I had a very simple understanding about plan training and plan RP and such, to the point where after I joined Navcom, I used things that I learned in Navcom as a private first class in leadership and Ravenholdt. But what I have to say about Navcom is the reason Navcom survived is because Navcom is a system, like a staff system, that cannot be destroyed. Whenever somebody leaves or whenever someone goes inactive, the administration of Navcom is so strict that that person will be replaced so that they don't have to deal with inactivity and such. Navcom is a clan that RPs to an extent, but it's also a clan that can get really laid back really fast. It's also filled with a bunch of older clan members too, so they're not really as enthusiastic about being serious all the time. But I credit Navcom with being a clan that cannot kill. I could never send enough spies into Navcom to destroy it. I could never beat them in competitive matches because they practice all the time. Navcom is just something you can't kill, and Navcom is something that will only disappear if the current administration decides that it's not willing to pass the torch to the next generation now. Infinity Command, I would have loved to have said would be the same way, but I'm pretty sure Infinity Command is gone. I think they ended in July, June or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that happened. I heard it had something to do with Spartans being pissed off at the other branches or something. But again, that shouldn't really matter. But
don't you always see in the CF? This is how this happened. It's not it's the NRI pushed it, but it's not really NRI that got it. It was the internal suffrage of the CF that really got to it. If something happens inside CF, it happened.
Oh. I believe that there were a myriad of problems that led to the CF's fall. None of them had to do with like one person doing something. Like, I wouldn't say that power killed the CF. I wouldn't say it. I would say that power had a hand in killing the CF, but he didn't kill it himself. Anything that happened in the CF was crazy. Like, the politics of the CF were so intertwined with how the plan worked that anything that happened, like any conflict, any resistance to an idea, voting, meetings, whatever, it was all so damn important that people were fighting for those conflicts. Like when Armis went to war with all of the other colonies, that was a big deal. It affected the plan greatly. It didn't affect the community at all.
It wasn't all the other colonies. It was all the other colonies, but you and Poe.
All right. I forget.
Yeah, you and Sigma were like, nope. We're just gonna sit here and watch. Everybody else went to war, and we all stepped out one by one. And it always left us being of Vel, and then Vel was just.
I mean, I told Vel and Reaper not to underestimate Armis, and they got slaughtered. But because that's all Armis would do. Armis would just do raids like 24/7. They were a huge raid active club. They wouldn't even do training. They would just do raids.
Jeez.
But like, Ravenholdt even tried to start wars between other colonies. Like, I would send in spies to Sigma to assassinate Pwn, and then I would name it on Armis. Nothing happened because the assassin that I sent was sort of retarded, but nothing to do with right. But whatever. I love the CF for politics. It was a good little. It was a game that I created, helped create, and then I could just play it.
And the game finally ended. How did you like react when the CF finally ended? And well, I consider the CF, like everybody considers, like Johnson was the last leader of the CF. No, Shadow Sniper was the last and only. When he left the CF, there was no CF. There was no CF without Shadow Sniper. Like everybody like says, oh, but there's also Angel of Death. It started up, the CF, other CF.
Nah, I never treated the CCF as anything legitimate. I don't mean to say that Angel of Death is incompetent creator, but I totally CCF's gonna die in months. Didn't see that last team. Because once you're in a clan as unique, something like that, and it ends, and you try to recreate it, not push the boundaries, it loses its theme, loses its
uniqueness.
It loses its feel. That's what I was thinking of. Loses its feel rather quickly because you'll start making decisions that will affect the structure that were never intended to be made. There's no way you can know that because you were never in meetings for the season. So I figured that would fall apart within a month. I think it did, or at least a month and a half. And Angel of Death wasn't really active enough to carry on the burden of such a task of recreating something like that. But I forgot what we were talking about this. I had a whole train of thought for what you were saying, and then I started ranting.
It's fine. So let's see here. So when you left, what was so like? I know this community has so many problems. Can you just name one problem that you really hated, and you just really hated it?
With the community or the CF?
With the community.
Oh. I mean, a lot of my problems stem from the platform, but probably I felt like I hate to say this, but I felt like I had done everything that I had set out to do in the community after a certain point, and that there was nothing left for me to want to experience because everything's so generic now. It's all the same. There's nothing unique about, like, for instance, Shadow Sniper, after the CF ended, was going to create the Kingdom of Terra. And it was going to be a medieval clan, it was going to have its own lore, it was going to have its own maps and stuff, and they were going to go to war with us. Because at the time, Shadow Sniper thought that I was the peak of power, and he wanted to put my head in a spike, as he would say. I would have loved to be in that clan if it existed, because medieval clans are unique and they're not like any other based military structured clan with branches. That's where that genre of clans came from. Like, the United Nations existed, had military branches, had a council for government, had a leader. Now every clan since then has tried to recreate that because it was a good system until a certain point. But I felt like there was just nothing in for me to want to experience because I had done everything I wanted to, and there was just really no point in being here. But a lot of my other problems stem from, like, the game and the limitations of Xbox Live, and the limitations of the game, and the limitations of the community itself because of those. Like, our niche community is really small and very minute concerning, like, the brand Halo community. And, like, if I want to experience, like, stuff that I tried to do in the CF, I could do that better on other games, especially on PC. So I moved to PC and feel like there are just better communities that on better games for those communities. I don't feel like the Halo Clan community will ever be better than it used to be in Reach, because games will never be more they'll never have more features for clans or anything. So that's the reason I left.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that the Halo community doesn't have any more nothing that you haven't experienced before, but you ran out of. Yeah. I sometimes, that's why I left the community for a bit. Yeah. That's pretty sad. That's how the chain goes. Yeah. So your clan, when you left it, like, everybody stopped. A lot of your members stopped, stopped with the clan thing. It's like Ravenholdt was its last, like, everybody's last chance to do anything on the Halo Clan community. After Ravenholdt ended, most of your members just left the community altogether. Why do you think is that reason? Is it the same reason you said? There's no more like, nothing left for them to experience, or?
A lot of my members, community members like me, like, a lot of my members I met in the old days. Most of them are out of high school, they're going into college, they don't have time for clans. My second in command wasn't available for most of the clan's lifespan because he had school. I feel like, most of all of my knights, maybe minus, like, Roken, left either because they don't have time, or they feel like there's nothing new or innovative for them to experience, so they left. Because a lot of them were like me, they had past espionage backgrounds, most of them were Panthers back in the day. And I don't remember who said it. I feel like it might have been Johnson. I don't know if it was Johnson though. Might have been Bell. I don't remember. But somebody said that if you looked at Ravenholdt and you looked at me or Vash, Ravenholdt was just the clan reflection of Vash and his beliefs. So like, and it, it's sort of true. I Ravenholdt from the mentality that I wanted everyone to experience. Like if I had led Ravenholdt in 2011, that's what it would have been like, and we would have, done the same similar ways. So I tried to educate everybody that I hate to say educate, but I tried to teach or show people what I experienced as a kid in the golden age, and this is what Ravenholdt was built off of. So I feel like a lot of people, especially older community members that joined for that reason, when Ravenholdt ended, there's just, the only plan that I can think of that's still around that has those same values to the seriousness that we took it to would be the NRI. The problem is, a lot of my members hated the NRI, so they wouldn't, go after it naturally.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would say it's mostly because of the similar beliefs, mindset that I have as far as like experiencing something new or, real life responsibilities taking up time.
Yeah. Speaking of the NRI, when you joined the NRI, how did it feel? Like, did you like it? Did you not like it?
Oh, I loved my experience. I actually was planning on leaving the community earlier. Bizarre came to my party one day and he was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And I'm, this conversation's like in the weirdest ways. And told him what I was, up to. Ravenholdt ended like a month earlier. And um, I told him that I might, join a clan. Ravenholdt actually had moved to another game. We actually did Warframe for a while before we ended. And was telling him about that, and he was, "You want to do something on Halo 5? And I'm like, "Are you offering me a job?" It's like, "Yeah, I need an NRSB director, which is the equivalent of the NRI's secret police." And I had ran one secret police branch in DGA one time, and I just had so much fun doing it. There's nothing more fun than arresting people, framing people, and kicking people out and executing them in a tyrannical government setting. So I took the job, and I told Vazari that I would do my best as far as the position was concerned. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was fun playing a corrupt SS leader, killing people, sending them to camps and stuff like that.
That's that's interesting. Yeah, that's. So as we're reaching the end of the time frame we have, do you have any are you planning on ever joining back in the community?
Well, I never thought that I would leave like this year. I always thought it would be next year, but due to my real life situations and responsibilities and the current Halo 5 game, the only way I feel like I'd ever return to the community, and this is a huge if, because this just has to do with the game. This has nothing to do with like real life. Real life just has to agree with my planned gaming schedule. But if it doesn't, I would. But the only way I would is if when Halo 6 comes out, if Halo 6 is a lot like Reach, just has the feel of Reach, and I don't know how to explain that. I mean, the Forge can get better, I guess, and the community can come back and try the next Halo again. The campaign has to be so much better than Halo 5 for Halo fans to come back. And the gameplay, I liked the gameplay of Halo 5. It was different. It's on that line of becoming a space COD game. But I feel like the only way I'd come back is if Halo 6 was just great for clans. Great emphasis on great for clans, not a good game, not a great game. It's to be clans have to do well. Halo Reach wasn't necessarily a great multiplayer experience, but it was the best clan experience for Halo. So the game would have to be better than Reach or have to feel like Reach for me to come back. But that's if my real life obligations don't prohibit me and stuff like that. But I totally left planning on not coming back for sure.
I understand, and how I bet everybody watching this understands. Um. So yeah, it's been an honor having you.
It's an honor to get asked for.
Yeah. I bet it was. All right. So, that's the end. So, bye.